it always the same number?
No, I think.
Yeah, so we'll definitely get that number. And my apology that we
Here
don't.
he goes. Here he
Okay,
goes.
okay.
Everybody's at
Woo! There go the man. What's good?
All right, y'all. Vic is back. Sorry.
What up? What up?
My bad.
No problem, good brother. How was your commute here, Capone? How you feeling?
Too bad once I got the right address.
Well, Vic gave you the wrong address?
No, I
He
put
messed
it
up.
Oh,
Put
okay.
in 10. Instead, 1 instead of 10.
Okay.
Now we popping. Let's get this on the road now. Hit me up. Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. Y'all see we got Vic back in the building.
Shift his camera, the baby's in
Yeah. Shift that is that one.
more.
So we all good. Y'all can see yo. We got Capone in the building, man.
Sorry.
Take time to process that. Seriously, our fans need to take.
Just right.
Yeah. Take time to process. Yo, this yo.
Good.
Yeah, his ankle's good. Yeah.
He
a
walked.
little more. L.
You got it. Yo, he came in the building and I just started laughing.
No, the other way. L, the other way.
And he ain't even tell a joke. I just started laughing.
Some things.
That's that's when you know you're around funny people. When their presence just gonna make you laugh, man. That's a
Maybe I
gift.
should adjust
It's a
myself.
delay, L, so you gotta wait. You went all the way. Right there. There you
We
go.
good, we
That's
good.
perfect.
Good now. I
That's
didn't know it was a
perfect.
delay.
It's a delay.
Look at L, don't let the cake. I didn't know.
All right.
Really? That's what we gotta do.
All right, y'all. Listen, as usual, like and share the video. As we promised,
Yes.
the motherfucking gangster of comedy is here.
Yes, sir.
Give a big round of applause
Thank you.
for
Thank
Capone.
you. Thank y'all.
Woo!
Very much. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Special
He
effects.
like,
Now we
oh,
got
wow.
some things. We got-
This is what we doing in 2019.
like I said, man, before we start, share the video, share it in all your groups, share it with your friends, share it in all your pages. We on YouTube live right now, so y'all could go to the YouTube and Capone is here, man.
What is the YouTube address so I can give some of my people so they can
Him, me,
promote?
you, her.
Him, me,
same
you,
too.
her.
Yeah.
Okay, that's podcast.
That's right.
I came here to learn something
Oh,
because
yeah, we
I'm
gonna
trying to
teach you,
open
don't
up
worry.
my joint.
And the boss
Right,
is on
right.
the back, so he gonna hook it up.
Definitely
That's
make
what's
that
up.
connection. Hey, Vic, did we get the number? Because I definitely.
516-900-2278. Call in.
I feel like I'm gonna get asked a lot of questions.
That's good. That's what we want.
And you late, so we gotta catch up. So what's going on?
Pass him some more water. We
We gonna do these announcements real quick.
Yeah.
All
So,
right, we just gonna do this
because we
announcements
definitely announced Tay Rosenberg. That's Tay Rosenberg. We got L Stacks. They in the building. They here with us. So y'all already know we got Capone, the gangster of comedy. It's official tissue. He's here. My man Vic. You know he the boss. So we here. We about to set this thing off.
Big serious. If you
Yeah.
want, you like the goddamn student loan people. He will track your ass down.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate you coming though, man. Yo, Dave, let's do these announcements real quick.
All right, yeah. So,
You did everything else?
yeah, we definitely we just started to have roundtable discussion.
Okay.
You know, just talking about what we did for the holidays and everything. But you know, that was pretty much it.
That was it. So you did the dating game, did the YouTube?
Nah, we didn't do any of that. So we're gonna jump into the announcements real quick before we get started with the podcast. The dating game. I know we got some responses a while ago. We're still putting that together. People who sent me messages, please check your inbox. We'll have what you need to do next by January 20th. Again, we're trying to schedule something in February, so just keep an eye out on that. Also, and I've been saying this across the board, we do plan on moving to YouTube and be streaming live on YouTube by the end of February. So please go to YouTube, subscribe to the page, hit the bell. Once you hit that bell, it'll notify you when we upload any content. And don't be afraid to give a review. Hey, if you like it, you love it, let us know. If there's something that you don't like, don't be afraid to give a review, man. You know, so definitely just keep that in mind.
And we're gonna have a new game soon on the show. Basically, if you guys can get us 5 people to subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll get some him and her merchandise. Might be a T-shirt, might be something nice, but we'll iron out the details a little later on. But 5 subscribers to the YouTube channel, and you'll get a free item from him and her.
Right, and make sure that you got to watch the show, because the way you win the merchandise is when the next show you have to call in and say you want to play the game, and then we're going to ask you a question about the previous show just to make sure that you tuned in.
Definitely. So it ain't no way to lie.
Yeah. So we'll ask you a question, but you got to call in and say, hey, I want to play the game.
Right.
And that's how you win something.
And also, if you guys want to advertise anything with us, your clothing brand, you do food, you do painting, you're a barber, hairstyles, any brand. There you go, Paul.
There you go.
You can definitely
Check it out. Say less.
You can definitely advertise with us, and we'll put it on the show, and we'll definitely pump the brand. You know, give us a few pieces.
Right, absolutely.
We'll get it going. But like I said, we got a special guest. Capone is here, man. The Gangsta Comedy. Talk to us, good brother.
Hey, man, thank y'all for having me.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I'm late because I put the directions in wrong, and where I was at, it didn't look as safe as this.
They had you in the hood.
Yeah, I got my little man with me, so we had our day today. So I told him he was coming with me to the radio station.
Gotcha.
There you go. Ain't nothing
He
wrong with
usually
that.
sleep. But
Bring your child to work day. Even on a Sunday, bring your child to work
Let us
day.
see daddy work.
Right.
So, for the people who don't been sleeping under a rock for maybe the last 20-some years and don't know much about you, just give them a rundown on.
Of what I've done?
Yeah.
Well, I think every accomplishment is a great accomplishment, no matter how big or small. I've been fortunate to be the host of Amateur Night at the Apollo for over 20 years now. I was also the host of the TV show Showtime at the Apollo. I've been on Def Jam. I've been on Shaq All-Star. I've toured with Shaq All-Star. I've toured with Def Jam. Just several movies. My first, I guess, hit movie was with Kevin Hart and Damon Dash, Paper Soldiers.
Right.
Death of a Dynasty.
Right.
Just a few movies under the belt. One of the independent sci-fi things I got called Brother, because I never did a sci-fi before.
Right.
So now I got a new movie getting ready to shoot called Hart Not Included. And it's been pushed back, but we still getting ready to shoot. Yeah.
See, y'all learned something real quick.
Nice.
Man, that man got a resume.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what Hearts Are Not Included is about?
Well, basically, can't really give you the story, but I can tell you that it's about timing. And timing, right now, women are very powerful. And they exercising their power in every way possible. They're not being disrespected. They're coming together. They got this Me Too movement. You know, it's some of it is a great thing because I love to see women with power, but some are definitely abusing their power, and we show both sides.
Do you feel like if you in this movie, do you feel like people gonna automatically assume that your presence is just to be the comedic relief?
No. That's why I chose to not only write. I've got a good director because I'm a comedian, but I'm also an actor. I went to school for acting, and a lot of times it's hard to separate the two, or people don't take you serious. But I like to show my ranges and different things that I do. That's why I actually did it was a short film called Brother, and it was a science fiction movie, and I actually took on the role because I never did sci-fi before.
Okay.
It was a great experience.
How long ago was that?
We shot Brother 2 years ago. It's still on the internet. It's a short film. Wasn't going. It's like a 12-minute movie, but it's very, very impactful, and it showed me a lot.
Okay,
That's good. That's dope. So
Keep it coming.
we gonna get into some talk.
Yeah,
Let's
and you
talk.
know what, Capone? You know what? While you here with us, we blessed to have you on the show. we definitely want to incorporate you into some of the things that we do. I know one of the things we pretty much go through on every show, we kind of have like a secret letter where somebody will write in with a situation, and we would love to get your opinion and feedback on their situation.
As long as they can take the truth. That's my motto.
That's all we about, baby.
All day.
What's the slogan?
Talking real topics with
Real people.
Here we go. Here we
I'm
go.
the realest.
So let me go ahead and jump into this. Let me get straight to it.
Okay.
So the situation is a young lady is saying, I work late nights and generally get home early in the morning. One morning after I came home, showered and slid into bed with my guy, my ex-husband calls me saying that he's stuck on the highway and AAA won't get there for 2 to 3 hours. He asked me if I can come and get him, and I said, sure, no problem. In the past, he's helped me out, so I didn't think it would be an issue. Ever since that night, my boyfriend has been very short with me. He told me that I was not ready to be in a relationship. I explained this was the father of my children, but he does not care. Just because me and my ex-husband are no longer married, that doesn't mean that we can't help each other, right?
So you want my answer?
I need to, yes. I'm sorry. So they ended like,
See, this is a two-part answer.
Go ahead, talk to us.
One, I think, did she tell the boyfriend she was going to help him?
Yes.
Okay. That was a good thing on her point. Also, what kind of dude is the ex-husband? Is he a creep dude that tries to slide off and in and out with the chick because they're not together no more? Or are they strictly platonic friends and co-parenting their children?
From what I'm getting from this letter, it seemed like they're just, platonic friends trying to...
Maybe then dude is not ready for the relationship. The one thing you have to understand, if you have a woman and you trust your woman, whatever the situations are, if she don't give you no reason not to trust her, then so be it to me.
Amen to that.
Got you.
So, ladies.
I don't know. I mean, if my child is not in the car, I don't think I'm getting out of the bed. Like, man up.
Right.
Man up and wait for AAA or change
Exactly.
the tire or whatever your issue is. Figure it out,
Good point.
No, I mean, if we're friends and we're in a good space, I definitely would go and pick them up. I don't see why not. Because if I had a male friend that needed my help, I would help them.
Exactly.
And
But
that's
you in the bed with your man.
Right.
Y'all live
but
together.
God forbid that something happens to my child's father on the side of the highway waiting for AAA. That's going to directly affect me and my kids. So I'm always going to try to help out
So
my
he has
child's
no
father.
boys. He has no friends. He's calling
As
on
long as he's
female.
current on his child support.
Pause.
That's what somebody said. Was he the only person? Was she the only person that he could call? I mean, if you're a strong enough dude, I would go get him myself.
I would have.
We would have got them together.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
We
go.
could go together.
Well, first of all,
No
my
secrets.
lady ain't getting up out no bed,
Out of your bed.
out of my bed. Like not,
Wait,
and I'm
you
not.
lay
I'm,
the pipe out.
you know what I'm saying? If the relationship is,
Hell to that.
if the relationship is that good between them, because we understand we live in a world where you get in a relationship, that person might have a child from a previous relationship.
Right.
So I'm gonna try my best to at least have some sort of, relationship or understanding with that guy. If he feels comfortable enough to call my lady
Your lady.
that early, like. That's first of all, I would think he was in a dire situation
Right.
to be calling her, and then we both go get him, and then I'm gonna pull him to the side and say, "Listen, if this ain't life or death,
Yeah, don't do it again.
don't do it again. Like check him."
Now that you put it like that, it definitely got to be like a life or death situation. That car on the road, listen, AAA, call one of your
Yeah,
boys.
man
Somebody
up.
gonna get you be all right.
Right?
You be all right. You
If
a
it-
big boy.
So are you guys saying that
Is it because it's an ex?
Right.
What if it's a friend?
right?
I don't care if my lady is getting up to go help any male, and this might be my
See,
crazy way of thinking, but if she's going to help any male dude get up out her bed, nah.
why?
Because I don't play by those rules.
So
the
men
bottom
are
line.
supposed to do what? Be able to protect themselves in others, like in a gender role?
Nah, get out of here. Go kick rocks.
I'm
not. I'm just saying, like,
we're not doing that.
no.
Well, I'm saying that because one of my people is on here,
Right.
and she used to work for me selling tickets. One of my closest friends.
Right.
She was my friend, and then her husband became my friend.
Okay.
Right.
But if I needed her to do something, she would go out and get out of the bed and go do it, just like I would do it for her.
Right.
So that's why I asked, is it because you was an ex or just friends? Because like we're just friends, and her husband knows me. And if I say, look, I need you to go to my house and go pick up something, or I need you to pick me up, she'll do it, and I would do the same for her. So I don't know.
It definitely depends on the relationship, and then like if you guys are all friends, then that might be different. But people are a little, if he told me he was getting up out of the bed to go help his ex, I might feel a certain kind of way at 2:00 in the morning. But then at the same time, she is a female. Where is she? Is she in close proximity? Okay, yeah, we going to get her together.
Yeah.
Yo, you stupid.
No, I think honestly for me that would just be we could go get them together, because like Capone was said, somebody that he worked with, they had a good relationship. She knows the husband, he knows you. So I'm thinking what you laughing?
Somebody just hit me on my timeline and said, "What if the male friend was gay? Would he feel the same?"
Nah, you know what? Because for me, it is a level.
I wouldn't mind. See, that's different. Like, go.
Yeah, because I don't feel like
I don't feel
if that's her boy and she choose like she want to go get him.
Because he's gay, it's okay.
So the sex.
Listen,
yeah.
you already know.
Because he's not a sexual threat to my lady.
Come out at night. That's the song, right?
I'm like, you just took a shower and you coming back smelling.
Maybe he's not really gay. He only pretend to be gay.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh my.
I got trust
those
issues.
too.
I got trust issues.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I had those.
Yeah, like
now you
Send the
can.
number so people.
516-900-2278.
Yeah, so like, listen, if
Call in and give Capone some love, man. Asking some questions. I know y'all got questions.
516. Say it again.
900-2278.
and if it's that serious,
When you land, but dudes always got an excuse. Some of my closest friends give me excuses. I'm like, yo, I got to be at the airport 5:00. 5. Damn, nigga.
That's rush hour.
Like the new 5, like it changes.
yeah, dudes are kind of.
Nigga said 5.
Dudes are funny, man. It's like you can get a dude to show up, and if there's beef or you going to the club, but he ain't coming to housewarmings or baby showers. I don't know. Dudes are weird like that, man.
All right, well, if you wrote the letter, you got your answers.
Right.
So
We
you're
hope
good.
so.
All right, so moving right along to about the hottest topic in the world right now.
Well, second.
Second.
Second?
This is the
was.
second because we know what the
was
number
the
one
hottest.
is.
Oh,
It
okay.
was.
Can we play that video real quick, Preach?
Can't see it.
That's the second hottest topic.
Yeah.
Lord, every time that grab just gets me.
Oh, them hands.
Yeah.
I don't know if they see it. Oh yeah, they see it.
They see it?
Yeah.
You saw it?
Mm-hmm. It's on there.
Thanks, Preach. That's what we needed. So, Els, I'm gonna let you take this topic.
I was so disturbed when I saw this video, and there was another one with another female who also got into an altercation with a man. And what kind of what made me upset was how everybody was pretty much standing around, and I think I saw you post a video on it.
Yes.
Just like she should not have had to defend herself with all of those men.
But he was kind of quick when he grabbed her, though.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
he
was quick.
definitely was kind. Her reflexes was on point,
exactly.
definitely. But do you feel that black women are being protected by black men in today's society?
No, never have been.
Nope.
No, we
Not
agree.
by black men, not by white men,
Not by police officers.
nothing. They
Nothing.
look at them as I don't even know what they call it. I personally find it very disturbing. I can't give a reason for it to be any kind of reason. Well, she is this or she is that. There's no reason to me. But it's been happening on several occasions. There was a Chinese man who smacked a black woman in front of his store.
I seen that.
And nobody did nothing. They filmed it, and then they was protesting to shut him down. For 3 days, they all protested. This man turned around and said, "I'm giving free bundles of hair," and the protest stopped.
And the protest stopped. There was another video we saw where a woman, and it was with a black man. He was allegedly the reason he was hitting on her or beating on her in the street was because she did not give him his phone number. In other words, she wouldn't give him any play. And like the blows that he was releasing on to her was that you would give to, like a man would give to another man. Like he literally knocked her down to the ground. It was like serious.
3-piece on a biscuit.
Yes, life-threatening blows. And again, there was about 6 or 7 men standing around, and I was furious. And I showed the video to my son and my nephew, and I heard them hesitant, like, well, you never know what's really going on or what happened. And I said, listen, as a man, that is your whole purpose in life, is to protect. If you're like, how do you just stand there and not react in some kind of way? I don't care if you just want to maybe grab the guy and restrain him, or I don't know, like what do you think you would do in a situation like that?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I pray to God I never get in that situation, because I'm prepared to die or go to jail.
Yeah,
and I don't think a lot of men are. I don't care what the situation is. Even that Waffle House situation where those cops degraded that black young lady. I'm really against that. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it with me.
Why do you think some men today are hesitant?
Because they're scared.
Oh.
They're scared of. I mean, the whole power of black men have been put in a position to be to put fear in us. I mean, everything from the cops. When the cops pull you over, there's fear. There ain't no I'm going to be all right. You automatically think that something is going to go wrong, whatever it could be. And when you don't have that fear, I think that, I don't know if it's God or whatever the situation is, it tends to turn different ways. I'm a very respectable person. I don't like nobody talking to me no kind of way. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what color your uniform is. If I talk respectful to you, a lot of them, they overdo, their authorities. And so there's a lot of black men that just fear every aspect of that. And my thing is this, and I'm sorry to say this, we all gonna die.
Right.
And no matter how you die, nobody's gonna know. But I'll be goddamn if I walk on this earth and let somebody take my dignity as a black man.
I think Dave and I were talking about it early in the week, and he made a statement to me, like, which is understandable, because a lot of us, we want our children to come home. So
Wait, you know what? Because I'm here.
Yeah.
Let me jump in on this one. Because just specifically looking at this video, she was good.
No, but that's
hold on. Time out. Let me comment. I would have, first of all, I would have stepped in on this situation. But a lot of the times when a situation takes off like this, it's not really like he wasn't beating on her for 15 minutes. This video, I think, is less than 15 seconds. He grabbed her quick, boop, 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 boop. She hit him with the 100-piece, got him up off her. Now, the other situation that you was talking about where that dude was throwing haymakers, like, first of all, I believe that you always have to assess a situation, because I got to make it home. People are relying on me. If I die out here in these streets protecting somebody else, what are people going to tell my kids? Now, granted, sometimes the best situation, and you got to see, I'm not for leaving people stranded. Sometimes the best situation is to call the cops. Or sometimes, be a distraction. I don't believe that you always got to jump in and start getting physical with people. But I do believe that you should not abandon people. You just got to figure out the right approach. Because you can run into a situation and get yourself killed. And you'd be the only person dead. So you just got to be smart in that approach. So I'm for helping people, but you got to be strategical in your approach, because people will pull out hammers and clear out the entire block.
I just think we in the age of the phone pull out, and that's all it's about. The latest video, whoever can get the most shares, and that's just what I think it is. Nobody's like, oh, that dude is like 6'2", beating the hell out of this 5'4" woman. Let me go put some beats on him. Nah, let me pull my phone out so this video could go viral and You know,
So-
I just think that's what it's about.
So
now.
here's my problem. When you start saying, "Oh, she's handling herself," she shouldn't be in a predicament to handle herself when there's other men around. All it would have took was one hit from her, if he chose to, if he had the strength to knock her out, and then what? When there's a man standing not even 2 feet from her, and she has to like fight for her life, and she's wailing on him 100 times.
They did an interview with her. She said she was afraid. Those
Yo.
punches came because she was.
I tell you what, if they was my coworkers,
The man grabbed her.
Yeah, the man grabbed her. So they
and
definitely.
the guy next to her just stood there.
Of course.
And I don't know how old that kid is. I don't know how he was raised. I don't know what
And
that
that's
job
the problem.
provides for him. I don't know. Some people will put their job over everything.
Yeah,
Like, you know what? I need this $6.35.
15 now, it's
You know,
15.
He actually ended up getting arrested because they allowed him to leave. He left after the manager came out and tried to help him, and then he left, and then he came back in the store and came behind the counter. They said. And started arguing and trying to fight with the manager, and then another male who worked there picked him up and carried him out the door, but not before he got to kick another female in the stomach.
Yeah, see, at that point in time, when he coming back, you know what this. First of all, when he came back, I'd have ran because nowadays they coming back with hammers. So the moment he left, Capone, am I lying? Wait, he didn't say he was gonna be right back.
Scary.
Nah, listen.
I'm about to say that. God damn.
Yo,
You done used your kid. Yeah. Like,
yo, listen. What
Scary
if he had left and came back? What you thinking? There was an altercation. Anytime you're in a situation, you're in an altercation, somebody leaves. What are you thinking when that person come back?
I don't know.
But look at the man in the Waffle House. Like that happened. I forget which state that was. And he, he didn't. What if he would have ran?
Here's the problem. We live in a state where it's mind your business and everybody fend for themselves. And if that was your daughter, you would be very upset if nobody helped her. If she couldn't hold her own and everybody just said, you know what, let the manager come deal with it, phones out, you would be thinking the other way. I think that's what's wrong with us as a community. We don't stick together. Everybody mind their business. Everybody fend for their own. And then we wonder why we can't build. We can't accelerate in life or grow because we need each other. We fundamentally need. It takes a village. So it should be all hands on deck. I'm never gonna let no woman or any person that I identify with closely, my friend, whether it be white or anything, get in a situation.
But what happened when you don't know them?
When that woman, I don't know if she knew her or not, but the woman who was on the street who got punched by that man, there were at least 5 or 6 other men around and one other woman, and the only person who helped was the only person who tried to help her was the woman.
Gotcha. Y'all got a point. But definitely, definitely. So appreciate the feedback.
We just hope all you guys will step up and do it.
Right, and be smart. I will only, and I'm not gonna harp on this. I'm gonna end with this. Yo, when you go into those situations, I would be thinking about what's the best approach versus just running in. Hold on.
Well, David, you can't go nowhere with me.
Well then, so if
it's me and you.
I mean, you made a valid point. What if that was his daughter getting punched?
Yo, if my daughter see, that's when daddy gonna show up though.
Yeah,
see, I'm not gonna blame anybody for not. I'm like, yo, however y'all was raised, but she got a father and she got brothers. Listen. For my kids, you ain't never gonna say I'm scary because for my kids, I will show up consistently, 24, 360.
That's it.
Hit my kids. You got a whole problem on your hand.
Well, with that said, we do have a guest here.
My fault. We got
because Dave could go on forever. He's not gonna stop. So I gotta reel him in
have a
sometime.
whole conversation with himself.
The whole show would have been about David. Wow. So, like I said, we got a guest here. We got the Gangsta of comedy, Capone here, and I'm sure we got some questions for him. So, David, go ahead.
Nah, not you. I
had a question.
Go ahead.
Capone. Recently, Tiffany Haddish had a showdown in Miami, and she was booed and
she tanked.
She tanked, and I think she had got some criticism from Cat Williams previously, who said like she wasn't ready to be doing like stand-up comedy and stuff like that, and she hasn't proved her her worth, I guess, in this in you guys realm. How do you what are your thoughts on that? Have you ever been in a situation like that where you
I've seen it, but I've never got booed.
No.
The thing with Tiffany Haddish, Cat Williams had a very valid point. The valid point was, before the movies, you wasn't doing that great in stand-up comedy. And the movies got you the popularity. And to go out there, not to say that, she's not funny, but to have those solid minutes, it takes a lot. And I personally feel that she didn't have them. And so to go out there, and even your team is supposed to know you're not ready for that.
Right.
But some people you can't talk to. Comedy is not just something you just jump on stage, and that's what a lot of people think, because of the fact that the internet is making so many people popular now. They get on there, take 10 seconds out of 50 seconds or a minute, and the attention span is something totally different now. So everybody, oh, he's funny. It's a lot of them when they get on stage, they can't really bring the heat. No, they can't.
What advice would you give an upcoming
comedian?
Yeah.
Hit the stages. Stop trying to get famous on his. Yeah, hit those stages. Those stages is what really, those are the trenches that you need to go through. Reality is, anybody can sit here, and if it ain't funny, you can delete it.
Right.
Yeah. If it ain't good, you can move it.
Right.
So that stage you can't move.
So to you, what makes a great stand-up comedian? Like what?
See, there's different takes in comedy, and everybody has an opinion on what somebody should do.
Right.
Richard Pryor was funny. Red Fox was funny. Red Buttons was funny. Right. It was different styles of comedy.
Right.
So whatever it is that, I'm not knocking these guys that do these 1 minute videos, because it's the way of life now. But at the same time, it's a craft. It's an art, and you treat it as such. Okay. And I don't really like the fact that people just feel that they can just become famous with 1 million hits and then think that they hit the stage. It's not like that.
You know what? I wanted to ask you, because I know sometime a while ago, Monique had the issue with Netflix.
Right.
And so this is two questions. A, do you feel like she handled it the right way? Because I definitely read a lot of the responses into, how she handled it and her opinion on it. And is Netflix reaching out to you? And would you turn it down?
No, I wouldn't, depending on my situation. When Monique was on top, how many people did she reach out to bring up with her?
I lying about that.
So you have to understand that when people put themselves in these positions and ask you to not support, there's a whole thing. Like, you had a whole run where you were doing movies, you were doing concert. How many people did you really bring with you?
Right.
That's very important. You can't tell me to turn down Netflix if you ain't did nothing for me.
Yeah, who did you reach?
Yeah, exactly. Now they offering you. You don't make that type of money.
Right.
Accept it.
He said, "Take the money and go."
Exactly.
My son put a question in the group. He said,
Okay.
question for Capone. How long did it take for him to pop? Like, how long did it take for you to get on?
I've been doing this for 20-something years.
20-something.
And I never feel that I popped.
You never feel like
No. See, the thing is, and how old is your son?
He's 25.
I want him to understand this. There's a lot of guys that's chasing likes. You can have about 3 million people who like you on Instagram, and you consider to be famous according to the people who run Instagram. But how many of those people who really know you? When things start to hit the fan, how many of those people really are there to pick you up? Look at Nicki Minaj. She had all the fans in the world. All of a sudden, Cardi B becomes hot. People don't really feel you the way they used to feel you, and those millions of fans, they can't do nothing for
They're
you.
not entertained by you anymore.
Yeah, so people are chasing the wrong things. When if I had 10 people who know me, I'm famous. And that's all it is just to keep going from level to level, and people don't understand that. That's where the problem comes in at.
So I have a question. What more?
Speak into the
Because,
mic, too.
Okay. You hear me now?
Yeah.
Jill Scott this So, I've had the pleasure of seeing you back in the days. I'm from the Bronx.
Right.
So, my stepson went to your barbershop.
Okay.
I've watched you perform at Cafe Lou's.
Right.
So, at what point did you feel like you needed to elevate from the little
Local spots.
Local spots.
It's funny you asked that. Somebody asked me today. He said he has a spot in Queens, and how much would I charge to come do it? So I said, I'm not. I don't do those no more. And he was like, "Oh, you do arenas now?" I said, "No, it has to make sense to me.
Right.
Anything in New York, I'm from New York, so the sad part about that is when you're from someplace and people have access to you all the time, there's nothing special. So for me to go from here, this bar, that bar, when it's time for me to do a big show, who's going to really pay to see me?
Right.
When you can see me at the bar for $5, why would you pay for a $25 ticket?
Right.
No matter how great my material is, you have to put yourself and consume yourself into a position to know that you want to take that step further. That's even with a job. You know, it's the same way you have to look at yourself as if you're going into a job and you're a lawyer. How many cases would you take for $20? You know, is you have to put yourself in a position, but it's a lot of pressure there for the simple fact that people like promoters who have not risen to that next level always want to remind you of where you used to be. So, I've definitely, especially in New York, if I can afford to rent out an arena, I'll do it myself.
You know what? I'm not sure if we was going to another topic.
No, we here.
Definitely wanted to ask you: is there anything off limits for comedians? Because I know now we have the LBGT community, kind of sensitive, and I totally get it. I saw a video. I don't know exactly when it was shot, but it had Louis C.K., it had Chris Rock, and it had Seinfeld. And I think Chris Rock said that essentially that it was okay for Louis C.K. to, use the word nigga in his comedy. And I was just thinking, whoa, like, is there a limitation?
The only thing I don't talk about is crippled kids.
Okay.
Crippled kids.
Why is that so funny?
Why is that?
Sorry, that's funny. He's like, that's my only limitation. Everybody else is on the chopping block.
I will talk about anybody. I don't care about no LBG. They people just like anybody else. I don't even know what it is. I talk about them, man. I don't have nothing against them, and I feel like, when you put yourself into a position to where you can't have fun, then you shouldn't do this job.
Right.
I don't go in directly to hurt nobody's feelings, but I tell the truth. There's some things that I don't understand, and I speak about it on stage. But I don't talk about handicap. If anybody's handicapped and they can't fend for themselves, I will never speak about that.
So for I know Kevin Hart was recently stepped down from hosting an award show because of comments that he made previously. I think it was on Twitter where he said something in regards to he didn't want his son to be gay.
Right. Who does? Do you know a man that does? That's just reality.
Right.
So now the LBG coming after him. Your son need to be with us. What the hell? No. Nobody wants their son to be.
Not no man. And I've had this discussion on the show before. Like, I have the right for not to want my son to be gay.
Right.
I have that right.
And not be offensive to any community.
To nobody.
But I guess if you're part of the LBGT, and I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate, but if you're part of the LBGT community, you're trying to find out why is that so wrong. It isn't like
because it's not normal.
Well, exactly. And then we start diving into a different realm because it's like, hey, what's so wrong with being a part of this? It's like you wouldn't say you wouldn't want your son to be the best lawyer or doctor in the world. So why would you say you wouldn't want him? Like, what's so wrong?
It's considered an alternative lifestyle. That's not the way we were created. So it's an alternative lifestyle. And you want the best for your kids the way you see fit. It's your choice.
Or maybe you don't want see your child have to deal with certain things that people in the LGBT community go through, and as far as stereotyping and whatever else. Or maybe you want to see your son with a woman and you want to see him have that day and get married and have children for whatever the reason is. But the thing, Kevin recently went on Ellen show, and she told him, do the show. Like, do it. She's like, no, she was basically telling him, don't pay attention to all those troll people on Instagram who, feel however that you shouldn't do the show. Like, we love you. We know what it is, and whatever, your statement, what you meant by your statement, he should go ahead and do the show.
How does this community become black community? Out of all the problems that black people have gone through, how can it be that, like I said, I don't have nothing against the LBG and nothing like that, but the rights that they have, they just overlook the rights that black people have, and nobody even gives a damn about that. Now they are sensitive. What about what we went through as black people, period?
Because we're the last people on the totem pole.
No, we put ourselves there because, and I know y'all about to get on this R. Kelly, and I can't wait for that.
It's coming.
Yo, can we get a noise for that?
He got my plug.
And it's about to the point where you have to understand that, there's always something to keep us down. I mean, it's written. If you read and you really do studying, the Willie Lynch law say you do not have to enslave black people. We will put them in a position where they will enslave themselves. And that's all we did. And the only thing that we have to do is stick together. And we're the only ones that don't.
Yep. Noni said because they know how to come together and organize. Now that I do agree.
They do.
They stick together.
And they put themselves in positions of power. See, that's the thing. They get into the rooms with the people who are passing laws.
Well, are they allowed to get into those rooms?
Well, listen, it isn't like they walking in there like, hey, girl. They probably
are. Yeah, they are. They are.
So you think they're in those rooms?
I mean, let's be realistic, my dude. If you had a building and you were able to control how many black people, what kind of black people you wanted there, you would control it because that's your building. I'm black, I'm hood, I'm all of that, but that don't mean I want to live around every other person that's hood.
Right.
I don't want my kids to be raised. I want my kids to be safe. And if you have a community that's shooting, that's doing all of this, you're trying to get out of that.
Right.
And majority of the times, you have to look at all the elements that's around you that's making this happen.
Right.
Police, they don't protect us the way they protect other communities.
That's a fact.
So everything is definitely on a brainwashing system that we keep falling for because, oh, my God, when y'all get to this R. Kelly thing.
We will. But before that, I do have I do have one more question for you now.
Is this charging?
Probably
not
not sure.
Here you go.
Thank
Take
you.
this one.
Here you go, so you can do your horn.
Okay, so you were in Death of a Dynasty,
Right.
Paper Soldiers,
Correct.
with a young up-and-coming Kevin Hart.
Right.
On the set was also Jay-Z, was Damien Dash, was Beanie Siegel. It's kind of a two-part question. My first part is, how was that scene with those guys, number one? And number two, are you surprised at where Kevin Hart is now from where he was back then?
No.
No?
The one thing you can say about Kevin Hart is you can say he's not funny. You can give your own
He
opinion.
gets a lot of hate, and I hate it.
But ain't nobody. I have never met, probably only one person that I could say come close that I know personally is me, who worked his ass off. Kevin Hart traveled from Philly to New York, back to Philly every day just to get 5 to 10 minutes on stage.
Wow.
I'm talking about every day until he started to get popular. There were clubs where Kevin would get booed, and Kevin would come back and say, yo, I got to try this new stuff.
Right.
I remember the first tour Kevin ever been on was with me.
Right.
We went to prison. We went back to the prison and did shows for the inmates because I was locked up. And I know what it was like. So this was my way of giving back for my success. And he went with me. And I never forget, we went into a part of prison where these kids was never coming out. And Kevin was so scared because they wasn't laughing. And the dude, Kevin was like, well, what am I supposed to do? And he was like the guinea pig. So the guy was like, man, how do you think we should be laughing? After y'all finish, we got to go back. So I said, all right, well, let's sit down and talk. Maybe y'all just need somebody to talk to.
Right.
A whole hour, the night went perfect. And the reason I'm telling that story is because you have to know your environment. You have to know the element of people. And a lot of times, people put themselves in positions to where they don't really do the studying. You see comedians, and for example, what y'all asked about Tiffany Haddish. She didn't know the environment. Me personally, I will go in front of any crowd, but I don't like doing colleges. Me and them kids ain't got nothing to talk about the same way.
Right.
Tell your mama, let's bring your mama so we can.
Where your mama at?
Exactly, so I can have a conversation or make her laugh.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm talking to my own kids and certain shit I won't say in front of my own kids.
Right.
Got you.
So, yeah.
You think you was just able to relate more because I know you mentioned before that you had went away.
Yeah. Once he said what he said, I adapted to it. And I realized, yes, all you do need sometimes is somebody to talk to put yourself into a position to try to be funny. And these guys is facing the rest of their life in prison. Ain't too much, nothing could be funny but free or key.
Right. Well, the other part, what was that movie scene like with Dame and Jay and Beans and like what was the?
Was y'all cracking jokes all the time?
Like what was that like to be, because they was winning at that time.
They still winning.
Yeah, but you know that like it was this all day every day. Like
it's amazing how, and I try to answer these questions as honest as possible. But the honesty of the thing, first of all, I have the utmost respect for Dame. If I can get my hands into a position to where I can blow like Kevin Hart,
right,
Dame Dash would be the first person that I pick up. That's dope. Because his brain is unusual, and they tried to tame his brain.
Right.
And unfortunately, when you can't tame them, they kind of like brush you off. Yeah, see, the powers that be, they don't argue like we do. If me and you got beef, man, fuck that nigga, and all of that. When they got beef, they get on the pen and they cross your name out. Damn. And that pen and that name goes everywhere. So it was love there. First of all, Dame took a chance on us.
Right.
Nobody knew who he was.
Yeah.
And how he discovered us, I was doing a show at Caroline's. Kevin Hart and a couple of other guys were my opening acts. After the show, Dame came to me and said, yo, I want to put you in a movie. Can you act? I said, hell yeah, I can act. He says, all right, I want you to bring, and he called Kevin the little guy. Bring the little guy, and I want you to be in my office tomorrow. Right. So I'm excited, but I never known Dame to be somebody who just talked. Everything he said, he made possible. That next day, we were in his office. The next day, we sat with the writers, and we were shooting. Now, a couple of things got switched up once we got in the office, because being that I was the most, I guess, powerful image at that time, they gave me the starring role. And then they took it back and they made it to Kevin. It kind of got me mad. I'm like, what the fuck this mean? But it definitely worked itself out. What Dame said is, let this be him. My next movie, it will be you. That's how we do things. And the next movie was Death of a Dynasty, where I starred and played him. And he just kept his word all the time. And sometimes, even till this day, you can't find people who do those type of things.
People are asking if you're taking phone calls.
Yeah, definitely. Priest, the lines are open, right? All right. 516-900-2278. Priest, can you throw up that one gotta go for me real quick? If y'all can see it, let me know. You know it's behind me.
Definitely can see it.
Yeah.
Which one is that one?
So this is
Speaking of which, all right, y'all. So this week's one gotta go is comedians. How ironic.
Who gotta go, Capone?
Hold on. I gotta tell the people at home for the audio.
Right.
We got Chris Tucker,
Right.
Dave Chappelle,
Right.
we got Bernie Mac, we got Martin Lawrence, we got Richard Pryor, and we got Eddie Murphy.
Dang.
This is tough.
K-Mac 357. Okay. They hit me up. You got people wanting to interview me now. Man, you got to bring this shit up. I got you, Mac. All right. So Y'all asking me or y'all?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
first. You go first.
I mean, this is your thing here.
One gotta
I
go.
think that's gonna be a phone call.
I think Capone stepped. I think Preach stepped away.
He did.
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah,
in
he
there?
went to the bathroom.
I'm sorry. Whoever's calling, can
Call
you
back in
Yeah,
5 minutes. Call back.
5 minutes, please.
Engineer stepped away.
Okay, so one gotta go.
Right.
Yeah, gots to go.
Can we have a reason why?
Sure.
Yeah.
You are more than this is your area of expertise.
One. I would say Chris Tucker.
Oh.
Oh,
Somebody
Gotta
text
go.
me that too. Somebody just said Chris Tucker gotta go.
yeah.
Which one?
The one up top.
First one on the top.
Yeah.
From Friday.
Why?
Like you know about Friday.
He telling them about Friday.
So
Yeah.
Reason?
he said Chris Tucker.
Why Chris Tucker?
Each one of the other guys have pioneered a different element in comedy.
I have to agree.
Richard Pryor, we all know,
Duh.
that's not without
Yeah.
question. Eddie Murphy was what rock stars were living like. I mean, Kevin Hart is doing great, but a real rock star would start with Eddie Murphy. And Martin Lawrence was the one who made hip hop and comedy come together,
Right.
a culture. Bernie Mac, who was doing it for a long time, not just being funny, but show you the patience. When you're patient and you really stick to the script, because they tried to keep Bernie from everything because they couldn't they couldn't tame him. They didn't want to give him a TV show, and through all that, he still
Still got
became
his
who
damn
he
TV
was.
show.
Right.
And of course, Dave Chappelle, who just showed you how to pioneer your career. Whether it was people disagree that he should have took the money
Right.
or whatever,
Right.
he pioneered and turned comedy and TV in everybody's room. And he's a country dude. He's somebody from the country that don't give a fuck about money. He really loves his craft, and he stayed. How you say it? He stood up against the rights of what they felt by buying somebody, and I'm totally for that.
Wow.
And there y'all have it from the expert. But Lauren, who you got?
It's tough.
You
It
changed your
really-
mind?
No. I didn't change my mind, and I know you guys not gonna believe me, but I agree with Capone. I said Chris Tucker because I don't really remember him doing too much stand-up comedy.
Wait.
What?
When he did the stand-up comedy, when he said, "If a nigga robbed me, he just be he said, "I'm so broke. If a nigga robbed me, he just be practicing."
All right, but think about what you said. He did a joke.
Well, I mean that.
But hold on. He did a joke,
David?
and then he moved and became a superstar from a movie.
Right.
It's totally different. There was no contribution on what the struggle was about. Now, I know Chris. Chris is a good dude. But when you're talking about pioneers who have paved the way for black comedians such as myself, Chris Tucker was somebody who was just running with me trying to get paid. But all of a sudden, that he got on, Rush Hour and did all of these great things. And it was funny, but there was no paving the way for nobody.
Gotcha.
With the purple suit, kid. That's just one by itself. That's just.
No, I was just saying that, I do remember him doing comedy, stand-up comedy, where I thought he
He's
was
still
funny.
doing it.
Like where I thought, well, his recent stuff, I just.
Yeah, because you saw that one Def Jam thing and you was like, wow.
You know what? That was it. You right.
He the best.
Nah. I definitely didn't. Well, hold on. Say, who you got?
I'm gonna agree with the expert because he made perfect sense. So that's my answer.
I'm like, sorry guys, I just gotta go with the flow with this.
Oh, nah,
Chris Tucker gotta go.
I'd be the odd one out. First of all, I honestly don't feel Chris Tucker should have been in this one.
I didn't make it.
I feel like because that's the easy one. Like I think
You get it off from
Nah, I social media. I see.
I think that's the easy one. Like it's like it would be more difficult if it was just Richard, Eddie, Martin, Bernie,
David.
and Dave.
Who gotta go?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Thanks,
easy.
Lauren.
It's easy to get him out of there.
Well, who is it?
Well, it's him. He should.
So that's it then.
Who's your
So that's it.
choice?
Well, I mean, he gotta go.
Thank you, David.
Capone. Seriously,
David.
he shouldn't be up
Scared
there.
to talk to David after that. Well, y'all need a time clock for his ass.
He had the nerve to say, I hijacked the conversation.
Come on, D. You gotta go.
You right. My fault, y'all. My fault.
All right, so as everybody knows, the biggest topic in the world right now is this R. Kelly documentary. I just finished watching it today, and it was very interesting, to say the least. And
We was just laughing and having fun.
listen, we ain't gotta dive too deep because that can go on forever.
Yeah, no. Keep this.
But,
Somebody set a timer,
Yeah.
please.
But with that said, since we have a guest here, I would definitely like to know your input on the situation.
You sure?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, that's what we're here for. We speak the truth.
What is it? Real people? Say it again. Real
Finish
people.
it, Tay.
Talking real topics with real people.
Man, listen. I've been drinking too much water. I'm a bit saucy right now.
Obviously. And we know Capone gonna give it to us for real.
All right.
We're gonna keep it short and cute.
Yes, I said, and I left a very distinct message on my Instagram and Facebook. Timing is something that's important. None of this was hidden from us. None of this was not known. From Aaliyah to him going to court to the video of him peeing on people. They swept it under the rug, whatever. Now you got all of these women coming out. You got all of this great special that's going to make a network that nobody really watches but white women that go through certain things. Lifetime is owned by who?
Who is it owned by? That's
Exactly. That's my point.
Thought
Ratings
you was
are
about to
something-
feed me
I
some
don't
info.
think it's just white women.
Now
I think
let
it's
me. I
women.
need to make this very
Yeah, yeah.
clear.
Hold on.
Very
Hold
clear.
on.
Yeah, let him finish.
Very clear. I do not condone. I think what he did was terrible. I didn't watch it because I know that they have a way of making us look like we are the worst people in the world. But nobody is criticizing all of the shit that they've done. Nobody has questioned. When are we going to get a lifetime of the guy Woody Allen who fucked his wife's daughter at the same when she was a little girl? When are we going to get a lifetime story about the priests that have raped these little boys that nobody's talking about? So my thing that I'm saying here is,
Hold on, priest.
yeah, R. Kelly's a monster or whatever you want to call him. He's a guy who had problems. He could have been convicted a long time ago, but nobody convicted him. But nobody is bringing up the stories about what everybody else is doing. And like I said, it's a great thing that you got all these women who were coming out now. But what about their parents? What? I know for a fact when I used to be in high school, we used to go to this school called Jane Addams. We used to walk from one school, go to Jane Addams, and see all the girls coming out the schools. And the girls paid us no mind because we were high school niggas. But the dudes with the cars, the old dudes that bought the Reeboks, was the dudes.
5411s?
Yeah, 5411s. They were the ones who was getting all the attention. So when you blame somebody of what R. Kelly did, yeah, he's a monster or he's nasty, but there's a lot of nasty niggas out here.
There is a lot of nasty niggas
But
out there.
The parents, there's a way to protect your kids when I'm a boy, and I know when I stayed out at night and my mother didn't know where I was, she would whip my ass. There's a difference in of what, because it's a very fine line to say what's right and what's wrong. Yeah, he's totally wrong, but why is nobody else being brought up that done these same things?
But I think that to bring up, that's like saying when Harvey Weinstein, why we didn't pull R. Kelly to the pulpit. Like, we're talking about this topic. I think a little bit for me, when people start saying that, that's deflection, because we just have to hold him accountable now, because it's his turn. It's his turn.
Why?
That's like saying you and a group of people do a robbery and you're the slow.
His turn been back then. When he peed on the girl, supposedly.
But that was one instance. I know for certain that I was not aware of all in the totality everything that he did, because we didn't have the internet like we have it now.
Right. Nah, we knew about we did know about the we do because I remember
totality.
I remember
no, did not, David.
I remember seeing him pee on the video.
I never saw
just that, and I never watched the video.
A
lot of people never seen it.
I never saw the video.
I never watched the video.
And number two, he was acquitted of that. So in my mind, if they saw the video, I was not in the courtroom. I don't know what happened there. Okay.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't him. We give him a pass for that. The Aaliyah thing is, who was finding documents and birth certificates at that time? We came back. All we know, she was with Timberland Camp, and there was no more heard of it. So did we know he was keeping people for 3 days and not feeding them and doing all this?
To this extent, I didn't know.
Hold that thought. Okay. Hand me your podcast. Who's calling?
Hello, yeah, this is Earl.
Who?
Earl.
Earl, what's up, Earl?
What's good?
You got something you say to Capone real quick?
Yeah, how you doing, Capone? I seen you in the Showtime at the Apollo. You was great. Had a good time.
Thank you.
My question is, like, well, it's a statement and a question. Like, when I was growing up, it was more like all the females was into older guys, and it was accepted.
Right.
You know, it's like, how is it accepted? But then later on, when people don't understand or people don't want to accept it, it's looked at as, oh, he was an evil dude. Because I want to say, I'm not going to say 9 times, but I'm going to say 8 out of 10 females growing up, 16, 17, was dating older dudes.
Right.
And it was okay.
Well, here's my thing, and this is what pisses me off.
Thanks for calling, Earl.
Thanks, Earl.
This is what pisses me off. R. Kelly, they said he slept. Y'all saw the video. These women are coming out talking about it. How come nobody has said anything about Hugh Hefner?
I hear a lot of people talking about Hugh Hefner.
No, Hugh Hefner was looked at as...
Hugh Hefner is no longer able to hurt anyone else at this time because he's dead. And there are still girls...
Before R. Kelly, Hugh Hefner was sleeping with 16, 15-year-old girls.
But right now, at this moment,
right,
on January 6th, 2019,
right,
he's 6 feet under. He can't hurt anyone else.
So,
he didn't hurt nobody, according to what the people say.
Let me ask you this, right? I understand your position, but if it was your daughter, would you be saying that?
Saying what?
Would you be saying, what about Hugh Hefner? What about the rest of them?
I wouldn't say, it wouldn't be my daughter, because I would definitely, my daughter wouldn't be spending the night over nobody's house.
That's a fact.
At 15 years old and trying to make a record. Nobody's blaming the parents.
Wait a minute. But
and I want to elaborate. I do want to elaborate on that right there.
This. Right now, he has women that are not underage,
They're
that are 20,
underage.
21, and are brainwashed and in his house and haven't seen their parents in a very long time. It could very well be your daughter.
Okay,
because when you release your kids out into that world, it may not be a R. Kelly.
One girl was at college.
It may be a guy that has behaviors and tendencies just like R. Kelly, and you would never be able to see your daughter again or speak to your daughter again.
Pimping has been going on for the beginning of time.
Exactly.
So would you start blaming other pimps when at the time a pimp got your daughter?
Yeah. But my daughter wouldn't be there because I would. If once my daughter turned 18, then she could do whatever she wanted to do.
She could do whatever she wants to do, but they're still victims, because when you're a victim of mental, emotional, and sexual abuse, especially at a very young age, these young girls, they're very impressionable. They said he seeks after weak-minded young ladies who are not able to really fend for themselves. One girl, he plucked her right from college. Her parents have been trying to see her for 2-3 years now.
And what'd he do?
they call it the Stockholm syndrome.
Okay.
You know, when your victim falls in love with that person, but they're being abused, and there have been you haven't. I really encourage you to watch it.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but there have been other females who were there when she's there, and
Right.
she's still there, who have what's the word I'm looking for? Who have said that, you know, this is true. We saw your daughter there. These girls, they have to ask permission to eat. Sometimes they're not fed for 2 and 3 days. They have to ask for permission to use the bathroom, and they're not being treated well.
I'm sorry, Coach. I do want to elaborate on what he said about the parents. Now, let me ask y'all: do y'all put any blame on the parents at all? And I definitely want to get into it.
I was very disturbed by the last set of parents in Florida who, first of all, I don't even know what she was doing at an R. Kelly concert.
Don't go too far. Stay right there. Don't go too far. Do you blame the parents at any point?
I hold them accountable, but I blame solely
Priest, how that caller? Hold on.
R. Kelly.
Dave?
But I hold the parents accountable.
Nah, parents got a part to play in that.
Right, and I say that because, like Lauren said, I think it was the last two couples that took their, how was she, 16?
She was 17 at the time of
Right.
the concert.
Took her to the concert. He comes down in the crowd. Now, mind you, mother and
Well,
father,
his people came down.
whoever,
Right.
mother and father are there. I'm in the concert with my daughter, Chris, Trey. Ain't none of y'all taking my daughter
On stage.
on those stage to do nothing. You go get that other one over there who ain't with her parents. That's number one. Number two, a lot of those parents sold their daughters for that bag. And let's be real honest about it, because they were speaking to R. Kelly, and he was like, I have to.
They let her go to Chicago.
Right, I have to bring her, I have to work with her, but she has to travel with me. So the parent at first, the father, is like, we need to be there. At least one of us needs to be there, whatever. Kelly's answer was, well, I'm going to have one of my peoples, school her and do this and that. Right there is where it's
Red
no.
flag. It's a red
Done.
flag. Right
But you
there.
know what that parent was thinking about?
The
money. And that's the big, where nobody, and people want to say, it's and I'm not condoning nothing he
I
did.
just want to say what the mother said to that.
What she said?
She said that the girl was 17 and she was approaching her 18th birthday, and they felt like they wasn't going to be able to stop her.
Well, until then, I'm stopping it, because
I know that's right.
on the blame totem pole, R. Kelly's at the top.
Right.
But there are other factors that play that play parts in that. You can't take my daughter, and mind you, this is after we done heard about Aaliyah. This is after we done seen the videos. This is after we done seen the child pornography case. And I'm going to still give you my baby girl? I'm going to give you, after I done seen all of this?
Right.
A lot of those parents were about that
Whether
money.
you've seen the video or not. I mean, even
You
if,
heard.
Even if
Hearing it would be enough for me.
Even if he was never accused of anything, who is just going to let their teenage girl go on tour with?
The money. A lot of those
That's
parents
insane.
were
This is
about
why
the
my
money.
child don't leave my eyesight.
They were about the money.
Dave Chappelle did a special where he did drip, drip, drip. I
Yeah.
never forget. It was one of the funniest things I ever saw, where he was imitating R. Kelly.
Oh, Preach, we still got that caller? I'm sorry, Dave.
No, we'll take the call.
Hand me your podcast. Who's calling?
No.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
All right, how you doing? Who's this?
Okay, this is Prince. I'm giving a shout out to you, Vic, Dave, Mr. Capone,
Thank you.
Lauren, family, Kay. We go back. I'm just speaking for someone who has two daughters.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter just had a kid. She's 21. I'm not happy with her father, the baby father. I'm still controlling myself, holding myself back for what I want to do to him or have done to him. But I'm older now, and I'm more laid back. At no given time, I would accept blame for her being with this dude, because when I find out, because the simple fact of the age difference, and I find out, I went up on him, I said, listen, get away from her. If you don't right now, next time I hear this, it's not going to be pretty. So, with that being said,
she was
accepted
21?
But
No, she's 21
at
now.
the time,
So
now she's
how-
21 now.
How old was she when she got pregnant?
No, when she started talking to him, Prince, how old was she?
Maybe 18 or 17,
And how old was he?
26 maybe.
Prince, you got a gun? No,
All right, Prince. Thanks for calling, man. Thanks for calling.
Let me explain something.
Go ahead.
I'm from Far Rockaway, like anybody in this podcast know. And we can do some things. I'm from Edgemere, Far Rockaway.
Okay.
And but I have my dudes with me, and I told them, listen, next time it's not gonna be the same way. And that kind of, my daughter said, okay, let me sneak around. Let me sneak behind my daddy's back. And that was on her. Yeah, and he's a deadbeat, and I don't like calling names. He's a jerk. He's an idiot. And I'm still being told, you know what? Let's do this. I'm like, no. Nope.
Your daughter's 21. To get over it and let it go. She made her choices. You have to, this is the thing that, I mean, we
All right,
all
thanks
make
for calling.
mistakes.
Thanks, Prince.
I'm
Thank
going to
you,
just say
Prince.
this, Prince. Thank you, but we all make mistakes in life.
Facts.
There are things that you learn. There are kids that, no matter what you do or how much you with your kids, some of them have their own brains,
Right.
and they're going to do what they do.
I think what Prince is saying is that he's not going to take responsibility as a parent for his
Daughter's
underage
action.
daughter being
Right.
like, you
I
know how
agree.
we were sitting here blaming the parents or
Parents,
whatever.
yeah.
He's saying he's not going to take that responsibility
Because he did
his part as a father and try to protect
And
her.
but he also wasn't ushering his child off to R. Kelly. He was actually stepping in, trying to prevent this from happening
Right.
with his daughter.
Absolutely.
So, so that in that situation, I think in that situation, yeah,
Check your phone.
I did. He's not going to take blame for it, and nor would anybody blame Prince because he seemed like he tried to step in and do the right thing.
Right.
At the age of 17, we all thought we were adults. Shoot, at 14, I thought I was grown. So at 17, you really think you got all the answers.
Right.
So I can understand in those situations, and then the father steps in and he said, listen, if you're going to do it, you're going to have to sneak. You are absolutely going to have to sneak. So,
Well, I'm going to just say this real quick. If you're an older man and you mess with a younger girl, you got people looking at you a certain way.
Yep.
If you're a young woman and you mess with an old man, people think you're taking this man for his money. They're going to have their opinions. Just like the lady who died, whose husband was 90-something, and what was her name, the white lady? Anna Nicole. She was rich. She was filthy rich, and nobody believed that this woman loved this man. So you're going to get critiqued no matter what. But my problem about this whole thing is this is a moneymaker. Everybody's talking about it now. Right. And R. Kelly records are selling out the goddamn window now. They going crazy because you don't realize you're introducing this to a whole new generation of people who don't know who he is and is willing to listen to his songs to see what this is all about.
What he's saying.
Exactly.
I think it also opened some eyes to really see what exactly was really going on and hear some more of the stories. I mean, me personally, I never watched the video. I had no desire to see the video. I was like, that's child pornography. I'm not interested in seeing that.
no, somebody, let me just, because I don't want anybody to believe, any of the viewers, that I was just sitting there. Like, it's about, the video that I saw, but it's about 6 to 7 chicks.
Right.
The first 6 look like grown women.
It's the pee-pee girl.
It was the
It's
last
girl.
one
Yeah.
on that video, so I wasn't there. I was like, "Oh, this looked normal. This looked old." So that last one actually caught me. So I don't
And
want it.
What year was that?
It was in
Early
the
2000s.
Well, they said the video
It was
supposedly was.
What a year it came out was what 2000.
Yeah, I think it was 2002.
Damn,
It was before
damn.
Step in the Name of Love.
Yeah,
Right. And then he dropped that and every.
and it was all and they stepped right in it.
Yeah,
That was it. But he not lying though. This is big facts.
And just so everybody's clear, we don't condone it. Nobody on this platform thinks that what R. Kelly is doing is okay.
But he does have some deep demons. Though.
There's a lot of people that do.
Help because he victimized a lot of people.
Well, my thing is, I understand that, something may have happened to him, allegedly happened to him when he was younger, that he was sexually abused or whatever. But once you turn from being the prey to the predator, I'm no longer concerned about it.
Because you got to understand, him being the prey, when you have that type of power to tell, say me, Capone, and Dave, I'm the R&B singer, and I'm like, yo,
You
go
look
get
like
me
the
some,
R&B
right.
singer.
Yeah.
Go get me some girls. Which one of them are gonna say, "Niggas, you crazy? Them girls is 14. I'm not bringing them girls here."
Oh, right.
But hold on, there was none of that.
No.
There was, yes, sir. Here she is, 14, 13, and everybody knew. The people do the hair, the body. Everybody knew.
They knew.
What I'm saying is that if he should have sought help for himself, that's what I'm saying.
He was sick already.
Yeah.
Sick people don't always
There's no
think
help
to
with
seek
that
help.
type of money.
No,
You
he
ain't
said
seeking
he
help.
knew because he told the manager like, "Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I need help."
I need help.
And what did
Pray
the
with
manager
me.
do?
He
Covered
said,
it up.
Pray with
But
me.
that's not anybody else's responsibility.
I get it.
But you need help sometimes. Sometimes you need your friend to grab you like, yo,
You're
listen,
right.
let's
You're
go,
right. But
man.
when you
But
in
like
a
Vic
position
said,
of
in that
power,
industry-
people are gonna be a yes man to you then because they know that when you say no and you're
And
gonna
you
be out
feeding them.
and they're gonna get a new person to say yes.
I'm
and get
sorry to
what they
say
want.
this, but R. Kelly is not the only one. Human sex trafficking has been going
Absolutely.
on,
Yes.
and it's still going on.
All right.
Vote.
Oh, we got a call. We
You
got
do?
a call.
Oh, that's for Noni's coming.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Capone.
Hey, how are you?
you?
Hey, Noni.
How y'all doing?
Good.
I'm
Keep it
calling
cute.
because let's be very, very,
Keep
very
it
clear.
cute.
Let's stop putting ourselves. I'm sorry.
Keep it cute.
I'll try. Let's be clear though. Let's stop putting ourselves on the same pedestal and holding ourselves to the same standards as other people. And some of y'all know what I mean when I say other people.
White people.
Okay, that's first and foremost. Yeah.
White
Capone
people.
said, I'll say it. White
Yeah.
people.
Okay, R. Kelly, people like R. Kelly and Bill Cosby do not deserve our protection in no form.
Nobody trying to
first and
protect them,
I
no.
agree.
No, I'm not saying that, but let's stop holding ourselves to the same standards as white men.
Thank you. That's my whole
Okay.
point. That's my whole point. How come, and what you're saying is 100% right, and this is my thing. Okay, R. Kelly is wrong.
Thanks
but
for calling,
why
Noni.
is everybody else not being accountable? And you
They
saying
should
that
have
is,
to be held
but
accountable.
nobody's saying it.
Right.
These preachers
They-
have been raping little boys
they
for
know
how
they
long?
say-
They
Hold
coming
on,
for
hold on,
Harvey.
hold on.
They coming
No,
for
let's
Harvey.
not. Let's forget about Harvey. Let's go to these preachers who've been raping these Catholic preachers who's been raping little boys. Nobody. No. You don't see the black uproar. We don't. But that's not our problem, is it?
I think what the concern is, and maybe this is not so politically correct, but how many black Catholics do you really know? Number one.
I'm not talking about.
But
Catholic.
that's what it is. The
I'm
concern is with our own. I'm concerned with my own first.
And that's good. But the thing is, you're not being. You don't see the vision of nothing but your own. Everybody else is. This is definitely designed for us to always keep coming at each other. R. Kelly is an icon. Bill Cosby.
But-
30 years. Them women were taking their own Quaaludes back then.
But can I say something? Nobody forced R. Kelly to pee on
Right.
them people. He put
Right.
himself in this position to be.
Somebody asked me to pee on them.
Okay,
Me too.
And with
said
that
That's
said,
crazy.
let's change courses right now.
Vic, like, we
I
done.
want to hear
We
about the girl. None of them attempted to kill. So, Capone,
That's out.
Yes.
That's out.
what are some of the places in the world that you've performed at?
I've just come back from Africa, Nigeria.
Wow, how was that?
Nice.
It was beautiful. Very beautiful. And again,
You gotta get a bunch of shots.
I'm about to hit y'all with something else again. There's rich and there's poor. There's no middle. So when you don't understand the lifestyle and the culture of other people, you only go by what is being shown to you.
Right.
And everything that is shown to us is definitely, because in Nigeria is one of the richest places you will ever know. But once you're rich, you're rich. Once you're not, you're not. And when I say it's bad for those that's not. Let's take this road. Like, I'm gonna just give you an example. Take Brooklyn Bridge, and this is small. Brooklyn Bridge going to the Bronx. Let's just say that's the route to the airport. That whole route is nothing but people selling stuff in the middle of the road. Just in the middle of the road. Wow. We're talking about oodles and noodles. It'll be 30 people back to back selling the same oodles and noodles, fighting you for a penny.
Oh my God.
It's that serious. If you say, well, mine's is 20 cents, he'll be like, mine 19. And you ain't trying to buy no oodles and noodles while you going to the airport, but this is how things are. And when I tell you the country is beautiful, or the continent is beautiful, but you have to understand that there's a lot of power within us. And I say this as a black man because I'm very proud to be black, but there are definitely issues that keep revolving. You said something earlier, and I'm going to just touch on it. You said that they would have to fight me and knock my wig off.
And see these Cleo braids.
Setting it off.
There are so many black women that don't realize how beautiful their hair is. Is because we've been told how ugly they are. And it's, who's going to tell you different now? That you've been kind of brainwashed that long hair is beautiful. Let me tell you something. I do a character on Instagram.
Yeah.
With the
I
curly
put on a wig.
Yeah, with the teeth.
By the time I finish that skit, I'm about to pass out because that goddamn wig is so hot. I don't know how y'all do it all day. It just, to me, it's just a
Take it
thing.
off straight in the car.
No,
No.
y'all go see Wing Lee.
I am.
They go see Wing Lee and they get that hair right.
It's just a thing that, as I hate to say this, but as black people, we got a long way to go. Because every time we come here, they hit us with something else.
Right.
All of this stuff that's going on with these other people, but this man, and I hate to bring it back to R. Kelly, but this man is the number one thing on TV right now.
Right.
Just for now. Next week it'll be somebody
Of
else.
course. No, Bill Cosby was
something
before
else.
him.
Yeah.
Then Prince, and then Michael Jackson. Everybody who was something great to us.
Tiger Woods was in there.
They do it to us, but you don't see no goddamn
Well, they
nothing.
didn't get Michael Jordan.
Huh?
They didn't get
Because
Michael.
Michael Jordan was just cheating.
They got him. They got him with the
gambling.
Gambling and all of this. But you see how quiet he
He's
is?
still winning, yeah.
You see how quiet he
But
is?
they teach us to mind our business. That's why I'm starting to see a lot of celebrities speak up, but for speaking out, you
That's
get
why-
dinged.
that's
why
why
I'm never going to make it to be where y'all think I should be, because I'm not sucking no nut.
Right.
And I'm not kissing no ass.
Let me ask you a question
Go ahead.
about performing in Nigeria. You said before, like, you have to know your audience.
Right.
So what did you do to prepare to
That's a
know
good
your
question.
Nigerian audience?
The question is this: why would they pay me so much money to come if they didn't know what I was going to do?
So you didn't really have to switch up much. You just
I'm
was
who I am.
Right.
They paid to see Capone,
Right.
and that's who they was going to get. And you know what? Nigeria is different because in America we have 3-4 comedians and a host. There was 21 comedians that went on before me.
Wow.
So the show went on from 10 o'clock. I got on at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my
Standing
goodness.
ovation. But I was pissed off until I realized that all of these people came to see me. If I would have went on any time before, it would have messed
Right.
up the show.
And
You don't realize the power of the internet. So we had 2 shows. The next show, I was comfortable wherever they put me because I knew I was that attraction that those people came to see.
the main
So
attraction.
I hope that answers your question. You have to know where you at. But before, I was like, what the fuck? 20 motherfuckers before me? No. So, yeah, it when you get paid, you have to do a job.
I have a question.
Sure.
This is about I see your cute son here. I been looking into you, and I know you had said that you want to get married, and I was wondering what effects has this industry or the lifestyle, has that had an effect on you not
Being
getting
married? Yeah, it has. Because
Trying to put your bid in, Tay?
Tay shooting a shot live on there.
people always tend to act like they can handle, and unfortunately, I'm from the time that I was young in this business. You get everything that comes with it. You get the groupies, you get the chicks, and you have to grow up. It's just like anything else in life. Before this, I was a drug dealer. So the same type of women were coming at me a certain way. So when you're a drug dealer, you get those certain chicks that like drug dealers. When you're a comedian, you get those certain chicks that like when you're young into it. But when you put the proper perspective on your career, you tend to get away from the bullshit. And that's why I haven't been married, because I don't believe in divorce and I don't want the bullshit.
All right. Well, Mr. Bernstein has a game he likes to play.
Yes, thank you. So the game that we have here for you today, Mr. Capone.
Everybody said don't do it, but I'm sorry.
They said don't do it.
This game is simple. Usually we take shots, but I did see that you don't drink. So
Right.
and I respect that. We all respect that. But you got some water.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need you to take that water.
All right, let's do it.
So how the game go is I'm gonna ask 3 questions, and it's 3 levels. It's easy, medium, and hard.
Right.
The moment you get the question wrong, you have to take a shot.
Okay.
See, I was going to say, let's bring some hot sauce for you. But
I don't drink that either.
All right. So the first game we got is called Finish This Verse.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a line.
And if I get it wrong, I got to drink?
You got to take the shot.
And if I get it right?
You good.
You
Move
good.
on to the next
You good.
question.
It's
Now,
3 questions?
3 questions. And this,
Either way, it's 3 questions.
yeah, and this is the easy one. And I know you said you're good with old school hip hop.
I think I am.
Right. So we're about to find out.
Okay.
So finish this verse. I'm going to say a line. You got to finish it. Now, Peter Piper picked peppers, but run rap rhymes.
Humpty Dumpty fall down, and it's our time. Jack be nimble quick, because I need another person to say the other part. You got it? Did he get it?
I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give that one to you. You got that. He said, I'm going to get somebody else.
All right, you got one.
Okay, so that was the easy one. The next one. In this year, these 2 artists made Lottie Dottie. I need the names of the artists that made this song and the year it was made.
Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick.
What was the year?
The year was 78, 79.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You want to phone a friend?
Did you get it?
You did not get it. The year was 1986. It was on this show.
That's it.
Okay, so now this one is the hard question.
Somebody said 87. Now y'all tell me.
He over there cheating.
Right. In 1987, the Fat Boys was in this movie. Now I need the name of that movie that they starred in, and I need the stage names of the Fat Boys.
Crush Groove. Buffy. Buffy. I'll never know the dark skinned dude name.
Me neither.
Buffy.
We trying to help you out over here, Capone. Like
know.
you not paying attention.
I'm sorry.
Nah. Let.
Buffy was the beatbox person. Yeah, right.
You right.
What was the light skinned dude name? He was married to Pepper or Salt. Goddamn.
That caller we had in who was talking about his daughter, his name was
Supreme.
Nope.
Preem.
Nope. Come on, let him work, y'all. Don't let him work. Let him work.
trying to help him out. You better look at them comments. They over here helping you out.
Kurakski. That was the
That
dark
was
skin.
Yep.
Marky D.
Yep.
Marky D.
Is that your final answer?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Vic, I need you to ding him. He got it wrong.
The movie was wrong.
The movie was
was
Disorderly.
Disorderlies.
They came. That was the movies. I said in 1987.
Well, he got half and half.
The Fat
He
Boys
got half
was
and
in this
half.
movie. He got half and half.
I thought you said a rap movie.
No, I said in 1987, the Fat Boys starred in this movie.
Okay, all right, yeah.
But they wasn't Crush Groove, and I think that was
Right.
1985.
Okay, you got it.
Quick hitters, man.
Quick hitters. So, this portion of the show, we're going to ask you a couple questions. I think it's about 12 questions. I just need you to give us a response. No thought. Just give us the first thing that
First
come to
come to
mind.
mind.
Yep.
And I got one of my own
niggas,
too.
this is
After
school.
I forgot to tell you.
He said this is school.
All right, so you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you were younger, what did you want to do for a living?
I wanted to be a cop.
What was the worst job you ever had?
Worked in the mailroom.
What's the best advice anyone has ever given you?
Don't let your imagination stay in a box.
If they made a movie about you, who would you want to play you?
Me,
Outside of you.
I like that.
my son,
Got you. Name an animal that best describes your personality.
gorilla,
What makes you laugh?
stupid shit.
Do you see a glass as half full or half empty?
I see water in the glass.
Okay. What is the one thing you find most attractive about women?
Feet,
If you were stranded on an island, what are the 3 things you would want?
food, a woman, and fruit.
What is one of your pet peeves?
I hate women. I hate drunk women.
Give me a quote you live by.
I never will reach the top because there's always room to grow.
What's your New Year's resolution?
I didn't make one because I live day by day.
When you pass, how do you want people to remember you?
Remember me.
Just remember you.
Yeah, because everybody has something different special about me, and there's those that don't like me, so just remember me.
Just remember you. All right, I know my partner Vic said he had one for you.
Oh, as far as women, a booty man or breast man?
I'm a booty man.
That's a guy from my own heart. Guy from my own heart right there. Guy from my own heart right
I
there.
love
Boy.
a booty guy.
Yeah, man.
Ain't nothing worse than kissing a flat woman.
Oh my God.
A real kisser, he touch it.
Right.
All right.
Keep
Well, I
going
definitely
down.
got another one. Got to go. Preach, you can throw that up there for me real quick. It's the last one. Oh.
So these are Jordans.
I've been wearing crocodile since I don't know.
My bag.
You should have brought out the
I'm
what
gonna
they
ask my
called?
son which one got.
There you go. Which one got to go?
What are those old shoes?
Tell him to come
Well,
on camera
listen.
with you, Capone.
Oh, I'm sorry. For the audio at home, we got one gotta go. We got the Jordan Bread ones. We got the Jordan Black Cement 3s. We got the Jordan 6 and the Jordan Concord 11.
I know them shoes.
Huh?
The Jordan Black 3s because those are old.
Which one?
The black
Top
threes.
right.
Top
Over
right.
here up top?
On the right.
Over here with the yeah. Those are
Stay there with you there.
yeah.
Well, the son said the 3s gotta go.
Right.
He said they're old.
All of them old.
They're all old.
And they keep bringing them back.
Yeah.
back.
Lauren?
I'm not really a Jordan person,
Okay,
but
but you got sons.
they weren't Jordan boys either. But I love the 7s. So
Lauren?
other than that, I don't care. But I never liked those. What is that? The 3s at the bottom?
You got sons.
I never really cared for those, so they can go.
Who talking?
I had the volume up.
Oh, okay.
Tay?
Those ones at the top with the.
We all.
The 3s. Everybody's voting the 3s.
They look
Nah,
ugly.
the
I don't
grays,
wear
the
any
Concord
brown ones.
joints to the right, top left, they gotta go. The first ones are classics. The patent leather ones are the first ones to ever be made like that. The ones under the Concord, I forget the number on those. I just think those are fire. Them Concord, great man, get them. They can
Them
go.
cements.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
cement
Yeah,
joint.
I might have to go with the 3s. Might have to
Yeah,
go.
they gotta go for me.
they- Okay.
Out of those
I like
four.
him. He analyzes everything.
Yeah,
so
he-
there was construction work.
That's corporate days. That's corporate days.
That's corporate days.
Corporate days.
Suit and tie all day, every day.
He gave memories for everyone. When I was stuck.
Yeah, that's how you got to do, man. You got to evaluate.
What you got coming up next, Capone?
Yeah, definitely. Let the people know.
I got to give a shout out to my partners, the New York Kings.
Oh,
Kings of Comedy.
Tickets for that.
We gonna be in Carolines on February 15th, 16th, 17th.
oh.
We're gonna be in the Stress Factory the 23rd. I have a new tour that I'm doing. It's called Mama We Made It. I do try to do a tour every year, but this one is a little different because it's actually starting off in the Fort Bragg's at the Army base.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the Army base or the I don't know the Marines and all that, but I got a contract to start my tour there, and just look for talented soldiers that have talent, and give
That's
them
new.
a shot
Yeah.
to express whatever their talent is, whether it's singing, rapping. So Fort Bragg, I'll be out there January 19th, and in March we'll do another 2 shows. So I'm contracted to do that all year, and I'll be touring with the New York Kings.
And you still doing the Apollo? and-
Yes, Apollo, we start back in February, amateur night, and I'm so blessed, man. God is
Yes,
good.
you
Man.
are.
Start my film.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
How do they
Capone.
get tickets? How do they?
Carolines, anywhere I'm at, except when you see a Capone production, Capone be in the street selling.
Yo, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Shout out to Noni for giving me the hookup, right? When he first messaged me, right, I was in the shower. I just got the shower. So I look at my phone. It says, Capone the comedian. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, yo, nigga hit me out. So I'm like, he's like, call me. I'm like, call you.
Right.
And he's cool as regular, normal,
Yes.
cool as day, humble, cool. And I'm on the phone with my wife, and I'm stuttering. I'm like, yeah, you know, we got a show and I'm like, and he just cool.
Right.
And I really appreciate it from. I'm like, yo, the dude, like really, and he didn't
Yeah,
have to
that's
do
love.
this.
Thank you, man. Really
He definitely
appreciate
didn't
that.
have to do
Appreciate
it.
y'all,
And
man.
I see him on his Instagram, like, yo, I will bring the tickets to you.
Right.
Like he delivers the tickets.
What
like,
is the off the truck sale?
We're not gonna do
Well, we can talk about it. We can talk
Okay,
about
there
it.
you
We
go.
can
He print them up in the basement.
Nah, a lot of people don't know I own a couple of boutiques.
Okay.
Okay.
And when you get the boutiques, I have to look at some of the stuff before it comes. Since we have a forum, I will say this. A lot of people don't know a lot of things are made in China. And when you hear people, this China made and all this, that shit is fake. I just want to tell all the people that are naive to certain things. I don't want to blow the brands up to tell them, but mostly everything is made in China. And the most dumbest shit that I've ever heard was somebody say to me, my shit is Italian leather. Have you ever seen an Italian cow? Everything. Cotton is cotton. Leather is leather. There's no such thing as Jamaican food. It's how you season it. If it's hot, Jamaican people put hot sauce on it. Right. So the thing is, and that's why I always stick to that motto, is never let your imagination get the best of you.
Got you.
On that note, I'm gonna need the Uggs.
Yeah.
I definitely.
I got those. I got them.
I need it on that.
Yeah.
I was trying to hit you up before Christmas.
I got those. I do. Yeah, so the off the truck thing is just before they hit the boutiques.
Got you.
And you want to let them know about the cat back?
Oh yeah. So I started on Instagram with Catback, and most of my cat people are on live right now. I actually, when I called you, I was trying to get advice as well. 'Cause, I'm trying to start this, what y'all doing, this podcast doing, and I don't know nothing about it. And it's very rare there's something in entertainment that I don't know how to do.
Right.
And I tried to study it, but when they started breaking down all of the different things that you need, well, you need to have a mic, and you need to have this, and no matter how big my house is, I'm not going to have people come to my house.
Right,
and do
exactly,
it.
exactly.
So yeah, I'm interested in getting this started. And
You
everybody
hear that,
tells
preach?
Me, that I need to start my own podcast.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah,
You definitely do because
Do it.
you already got the cheat codes. You got an ill following,
Yeah.
and people will definitely tune in.
Yeah, my people's for Capback. So that's my thing now. I got some people who started with me when I started on Instagram with Capback.
Right.
So just to show my appreciation, because I'm not trying to have a cult like R. Kelly. I just want people to appreciate and know that I appreciate them. So I get in Capback shirts made up. And I just wanted to get bigger, and that's how you do it when you work together with
Yeah,
people.
yes, definitely got to work for the people. Well, Priest, can you throw up our guests for next week so the people know what's going on? Dave, you want to tell them what we got going on?
Oh man, listen, man, I'm probably the
Yeah, she
I'm
did.
probably the wrong person.
like, who
I'm gonna be honest. My brother Vic, actually, when he invited me to be a part of this podcast, one of the things he said to me, he said, "Listen, I need you to check out this web series called Nightlife."
It's official.
I swear to God,
I'm
I
addicted.
binge watched it, and I watched like it was addictive. Like I started
Yeah,
watching
web
it from
series.
jump, and I'm hooked. Like I follow them. Like if I was in New York, I'd probably really follow them. Like, yo,
Right.
when is the next show coming on? I always look forward to it. So we were fortunate enough to get Sweet Brown, Boogie Down, aka Keisha, and Tamika Monet, aka Yaz from the show. That's Yaz,
Yaz
right
right
there.
Yeah, that's
And Sweet Brown, Boogie Down, aka Keisha, them two will actually be here on our next show. But please make sure you go check out Nightlife.
Check out. It's not your average web series. It's not a shoot 'em up, bang bang. It's more about the nightlife in New York. Basically, what the
Right.
show is.
And people talk about supporting your own, and this is really a way that we can do that. You know, Vic, when you told me to watch, I was addicted right away.
David, too.
Nightlife?
I binge
Nightlife.
Yes, I binge watch.
And
I
a
think
few of
they're
them from
up
the
to,
Bronx.
Yeah,
really?
yeah, they're up to season
Season
3.
three.
And I was looking for more. I was like, wait, Vic, how many episodes? I'm missing something. What?
I said that's it.
Yeah, I was like, no.
I kind of got mad that I wish I would have binge watched maybe later on, because I'm really just waiting for the next episode.
I'm gonna go back and
So
watch.
they will
the
definitely
whole-
Keisha
I'll
and
repeat
Yaz
it.
will be
Yeah.
here in
Right.
2 weeks when we come back on.
Nice.
I was it's funny you say that because I used to teach comedians how financial
Oh, okay.
financial growth. And they did a thing called 124.
What? Oh, with
Mr. Commodore.
Commodore. Yeah, that's
He was one of my
Oh my God, he's
dude,
one of
man.
my favorites.
Yeah, I would love to
He's
get him
one
up
of my.
here.
I
man.
would love to
we
have
gonna
him
make
up
that
here.
happen.
Okay, there you
Oh,
go.
That's
Appreciate
one of my
you.
students.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I-
he's dope.
and I was waiting for the web
He's
series to
dope.
come back on because I was
So
watching it.
what the problem is that it became so powerful. And you know what's funny? I've been doing comedy a while, and I got famous for that.
Right.
For doing, I played the bad cop in 124.
Yes.
So I have to. I had. Let me just say this, and I hope people are really listening to this. When Commodore and them first started it, they was just, they were guys who was, they were students and they was trying something. So me being an actor who went to school for this, I kind of critiqued them, and I was kind of hating, and it was making me mad because
Right.
I was like, yo, y'all doing this, but your acting is terrible. And as an actor, and he said to me, and I'll never forget this, Commodore said, well, Cap, if we're doing that bad, why don't you join us and show us how to do it?
Right.
And it hit me. And I was like, wow, he's right. Why am I complaining? And so they put me in the 3rd episode, and anything that I could touch that wasn't looking, professional, it helped. And it turned out to be a great series. Now everybody's waiting for.
Yeah, I'm done.
the-
Every day I'm on YouTube like.
It's really, really.
And
It's
what's
called
It's funny.
124.
It's funny. Yeah,
124?
Yeah, 124.
It's 124.
I love
And
Mr. Commodore.
The
He's
good thing about that is that the guy Charlie, who actually produced it with the young lady, his girlfriend, they produced it, but they were music producers. So they give the opportunity for all artists that they have working with them to play on the series.
Right.
And the reason that this is so touching to me is because nobody's really watching TV anymore.
No.
And if you have an idea that you want to put together, use this internet for that. It definitely is a way to get yourself out there.
Right.
So I had to
So you have any words for the people out there, just in general?
stay real, stay humble, and absorb every opportunity that God has given you to go through what you're going through. You know, if you understand balance in life, you'll understand that nothing is going to go good all the time.
Right.
But be prepared for the bad.
Yes.
So when the bad comes, you can wave with it until the good comes again.
Right.
That's it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, we appreciate you.
Definitely,
I really
definitely.
appreciate you.
Thank y'all for having me.
I really appreciate it. When he was like January 6th, I'm like, I got you booked. He's like, yes. I was like, you sure? He's like, yes. I'm like, all right, that's the day we got him.
We were really on him. We were like, yo, did you confirm with Capone?
I'm like, yo, I don't want to bother him again, yo. I said, I don't want to keep hitting him up.
We like confirm.
I said, I just spoke to him December 6th. I said,
I
don't
gotta
want
give
him
him
up.
props though. He is real smooth about it because he'll throw a little thing in there.
No, we had to teach him. We
But-
had to direct him.
We was coaching him.
Let me say it.
This made me laugh because he wasn't bothering me. And then when he put something up and I would repost it, he was like, yeah, see? He coming.
Yeah.
He was texting me.
Yeah, we was getting videos and everything.
I was like, screenshot. I'm like, yo, look, he just put it up.
We was like, confirm with him. He was like, but I just spoke to him like last week. We're like, ask him what picture he was put
Yo,
up.
You didn't want to ask you that, right?
We were like, yo, we
and
need
what? And I was telling him, I'm like, yo, just Google a picture, yo.
Yo, but you know what? We
He
didn't want to
reference.
put anything because when you have guests on the show, they might have pictures that they want to promote
Right.
versus us just going on the internet and grabbing pictures.
I knew that was a way to talk to me to make sure I'm coming.
I've been doing this a long time. I know what
I'm like,
He's
yo,
like,
we
I
need a
don't
picture
wanna-
to promote.
Yeah. Is he answering? Yes, got him.
Well, I thank y'all, man. I thank y'all, and I
Thank
wish
you.
y'all luck. And I'll be definitely tuning in. And if I can help y'all in any kind of way with some special guests,
Oh, yes, thank you.
Thank
not
you.
a problem.
Definitely appreciate
I will
that.
definitely talk to Commodore tomorrow
Oh,
and set up a
that's
date
my
for
boy.
y'all.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
That'll work.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank
it.
y'all.
All right, y'all. So
Love
listen,
him.
the usual. If you want to promote with us, hit me up, hit David up. Let us know what you got. Questions, comments, suggestions, himmeyouher@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, himmeyouher on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook, himmeyouher, and YouTube.
YouTube, actually, yeah, and I'm going to continue to say this. Please go subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Please do that. Hit that bell. And if you want to add any comments, it's perfectly fine. But hit that bell so you get notified when we post videos.
Y'all heard corporate Dave. Go hit that bell.
Sue and top. All right, so we see y'all in 2 weeks. Yes, Keisha from Nightlife, they'll be here. Make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all go watch the web series so when they're here, y'all can relate.
Thank
Hear me,
you for
you
having
her.
us.
Thank you.
Come on.
Peace.
Thanks for Tay and Lauren.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are now rocking with him, me, you, her podcast. Vic, Mo, Pretty Brown, MAGGZ. Imitated but never duplicated.
Yo, tired of them other podcasts, dancing all in the videos, not being up all game, not talking about what you want to talk about. Listen to him, me, you and her. You and her, she get with me and him, and we can kick it every weekend. And him and her, she leave me and you, and we can